Good morning. It's Monday, September 15th, and that means two things. September is National Suicide Awareness Month, which means part of my job has resulted in me reading dozens of headlines about public buildings using their RGB uplights to show support or raise awareness for this cause. But I gotta tell you, if what you're doing results in suicide and bridges being in the same headline, you got to rethink your whole policy. It's also time for the lighting industry news brief brought to you by Keystone Technologies, who are supporting Nailed's Casino Night. If you're at the Nailed convention on September 23rd, which you should show up for, I gotta say, show up early, show up often. But on after hours on Tuesday, Keystone will be supporting or just hangout. It's just going to be hangout. It's light made easy. It's hanging out made easy. It is going to be the Nailed Con's premier hangout. I'll be there. You should be there. Otherwise, the link is in the description, and let's get into the news. Because the Design Lights Consortium has issued a statement following Nailed's open letter. And the statement adheres to the classic debate tactics of reiterating the premise and policing the opponent's tone. Ira Rothman has launched a write-in campaign for his potential role as the Illuminating Engineering Society's VP. IES elections have been alleged to have gotten stale in that they only tend to run one person for each role at a time. And Mr. Rothman is looking to shake things up and improve the overall organization, especially considering that VP hopeful, that the current VP hopeful is not really that active in the organization. The NAED has affirmed the NEMA's incentive plan because they would also like those proposed tax handouts. Anglo American has merged with Tech Resources. This would be the second biggest deal in copper mining ever. Just ever. Diode LED has cut prices, 20% off tape light right now. The Q3 pulse of lighting shows that the survey says maybe concentrate and ask again later. Everyone's responses are mixed this quarter. That's all I can say. On the tariff tracker, Mexico has set new tariffs on multiple Asian nations, including China. Chinese exports did grow last month, 4.4% in August compared to 7.2% in July. Ferguson has declared a dividend at 83 cents per share. We have a quarterly report at Lucheco. We have a new margin of 8.41%. Signify's share buyback program continues apace with 216,000 shares back with the board, all purchased at roughly 22.45 euros apiece. The chair of Fagerholt has bought stock for himself, securing 0.2 million Swedish kroner in buybacks. Get a Grip on Lighting hosted a couple of people talking about how lighting should not be consumer electronics. The FTC, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, has unbanned non-competes, which is rough, actually. That seems bad. NEMA's Electro Industry Confidence Index is up. Respondents seem positive overall to varying degrees. AD's IESD has formed a supplier advisory council to, quote, form a strategic group of supplier partners committed to the future of the independent electrical channel. Vectorworks has partnered with Dialux with new simulations for designers. FW Web has opened a rebate center. This is a new online portal for lighting and HVAC. 60 containers just fell into the port at Long Beach on Tuesday morning. This was a mishap on Pier G, Hopefully you didn't have anything on that boat, boys. Sonepar will be rebranding 3 of their subsidiaries. Standard Electric, Madison Electric, and Wittick Supply will now operate as Standard Electric, a Sonepar company, Madison Electric, a Sonepar company, and Wittock Supply, a Sonepar company. Windjammer has bought PDU cables. Fuck me. Shit ass edit. Fuck me. Fuck. Okay. Windjammer will be buying PDU cables. This is a private equity firm buying the POE and Data Group. The MARL has secured a deal with the Canadian Navy. This is a Glamex subsidiary that will manufacture lighting for 2 destroyer-class vessels, specifically for them. Access Fixtures will be selling streetlights on the grounds that they don't turn purple. Also, they are dark sky compliant. Access Fixtures is now selling streetlights on the grounds that they don't turn purple. Also, they're dark sky compliant. That's not a sponsorship. That's just a thing they're doing right now. Those are the 2 moves they're making. Reynolds is moving their Pasadena, California branch to a new 60,000 square foot space. Ewing Foley and Lester have opened new warehouses. Yanow will be repping ServiceWire in 6 states in the U.S. Northeast. Stalin has picked Paul Davis for Ohio, and Omni Cable has partnered with Lynn Networks. That's all the rep agency updates for now. In events and webinars, the ASEAN Light and Design Expo is set for this week. If you haven't booked a ticket, you can still get there. It's September 17th through 19th in Bangkok, Thailand. Several nights in Bangkok will make the heart grow fonder. Dr. Danielle Mendoza will be delivering a TEDx talk on light pollution. That's September 22nd in Salt Lake City, Utah. TEDx talks are not organized by the TED Foundation. Ontario has resumed trades fairs for the first time in 5 years. We have 29 days in schools across 12 communities in the province. In legal briefs, Luminess has filed an appeal. Their LED dispute with Signify continues. We have the Circuit Court affirming the CAO ruling in the GE LED case. Signify has challenged Luminex's appeal. There are claims and counterclaims, and they relate to how the judge reframed both of those things. Overreach. A little overreach from the PTAB on that one. And Lighton has settled with Signify with no terms disclosed. In the IoT sphere of things, Kumux has paired music with circadian lighting. This is a new product line that swears they did not just reinvent the Muzak business model. Scott Rosenfeld was on the Lighting Controls podcast. A new study shows that 70% of smart home devices are vulnerable to attacks. This is based on a report from the UAE, United Arab Emirates Cybersecurity Council, expressing some concerns. And Swivelpole has opened a new HQ in the EU. They have a new office in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. In R&D, we have found that female pigs prefer green light, especially during feeding times. Also, Ideal has developed a next-gen silicon semiconductor with new 200V series products going into production right now. On the darker side of things, we have safety lighting on wind farms being brighter than we may have thought previously, including me, actually. Specifically, even like the lowest brightness and the lowest level of chromaticity still being visible for 4 kilometers away. Arizona State U has linked lighting quality with sleep and mood in dementia patients. The FAA will be reviewing SpaceX's environmental impacts going forward, even as they approve more SpaceX launches. Light pollution does not actually bother marine microalgae that much. Red light also found not to bother Malaysian monkeys, if that's a thing you want to do at night. Fall migration beginning over Michigan. An LDS temple has been completed in Grand Junction, Colorado. That is above and beyond complaints about lighting possibly bothering the neighbors. Lake Elmo, Minnesota has banned pickleball after dark due to light and noise complaints. In Duck, North Carolina, residents are being surveyed ahead of lighting bylaw changes. Lebanon, Tennessee is debating changing neon and decorative signage rules. Florida State sea turtle license plates are being used to fund turtle patrols for parks. That is to say, if you pay extra for the fancy sea turtle license plate in Florida, that money is buying gear for parks patrols. Pufflings, small baby puffins, are a lot like sea turtles in that they are born in nests that are on the ground, and they also need darkness or low lighting to leave their nests because they need to fly towards the moon. And right now in Iceland, it is puffling hatching season, and that means volunteers are patrolling the beaches of Iceland to make sure the pufflings end up where they need to be. How can you be mad at something called a puffling? Sky glow from a greenhouse in Berea, Kentucky has been reported. Purple haze all in their brains, and Australia has set a new petition for light pollution. In horticultural news, the 6th ever vertical farming show began in Dubai. Soybeans can be boosted in terms of productivity if given LED controls. The Korean government's vertical farm tech roadshow is actually crossing the Pacific with shows in America, Canada, and a few islands in the Pacific. We have a new 62-acre greenhouse planned for Tehachapi, California. We have AI sabotaging the efforts of indoor growers in some cases. And the U.S. Senate has drafted a bill to promote American produce, which could turn into grants for indoor growers. In recommended reading, we have an article about defending darkness in Chile, calling for a universal right to darkness. We have daylight for wellness and performance. We have standing out in well-certified homes. We have MRPs for the horticultural lighting group. We have decorative lighting from Spain. Is that really going to be the next frontier in decorative lighting? The IESSA is explaining their approach to photometry. We have calling for unity among rep agents, Shatter Shield, and how they have conquered the prison business. We have a call for chronotherapy to run alongside chemotherapy. We also have how to explain lighting controls to non-techies. Couple of case studies, smart cities running ahead in Hanover, Germany, or how to revamp a library in Woodbridge, Ontario. All these links are on nailed.org. Nailed.org, home of many cool and good things, not just those links. In local news, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the good land is struggling to fund projects after federal cuts. LA County, California continues their pivot to solar streetlights. We have $29 million to fund infrastructure projects on the Kenai Spur Highway in Alaska. Unplanned lights out in North Calgary. That should be fixed soon. The EPA has cut a low-income energy project in Michigan. Cincinnati is planning $5.4 million in security projects, even as major crimes, violent crimes, have all fallen in Cincinnati and the region over the past 10 years. Gainesville, Texas has set out their 15-year infrastructure plan. We have new street lighting going up in Honolulu, Hawaii. Siemens has partnered with the city of Philadelphia to improve energy in all of their city-owned buildings, city-managed buildings as well. Ownership and management, two different things I got to be more careful about. That in Palm Beach, Florida, we have an HOA trying to remove street lighting altogether to save money there. We have new tax credits for Des Moines, Iowa multifamily communities. Las Vegas, Nevada is tackling pedestrian safety in areas off-strip because the strip has its own rules. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania has approved state grants to nonprofits. Burlington, New Jersey's sheriff's office is offering free security checks to residences if you need one. In Barrie, Ontario, they are prepping for outdoor rink season with new lighting all around city parks. The Kansas City TV tower has new LED lighting. People still use broadcast TV? We still need broadcast towers? Sorry. Fort Dodge has renovated their fields to maintain their status as the host of the state softball tournament. Internationally, Acuity has set up an HQ in Ireland. We have a new lighting going ahead in the Sagalassos Old City in Turkey. Catholic bishops of Africa are calling for energy reforms across the region, and utilities in Ghana are raising street lighting rates. In sports news, Govey is now the official sponsor of the Miami Dolphins. In People News, we have a board shuffle at Signify. Paul Scribner has been named CEO at General Holdings Limited. Jim Gross is now the CEO at Intermatic. Willis Milner is set to retire. James Taylor has been named an RP at Sonepar, a Sonepar company. Eric Moriera has been named a PRO at RS. Shireen Kanakri has secured a NSF grant and a Fulbright specialist appointment for their work in lighting design. And we also have 2 appointments to the board of Efficiency Forward. In things that I think are fun, weird, or interesting, you can build a flip book that basically works like color changing for lighting design. We can maybe solve changes to food dye rules with TM30. Your mini LED TV actually has dynamic brightness options, and you should use them. You can make an AI LED business card that is also a Ouija board. You can turn a lantern enclosure into a 3D printer enclosure for about $2. Intalamp has set a record for the largest solar-powered LED display. Hilaria Baldwin, wife of Alec Baldwin, has joined the celebrity war on the big light. And King Charles has banned scented candles on all royal properties that he manages. On the debunking zone, no, for reals, blue light might be bad for you, but it's not going to change your gender or sexuality. Be serious. Jeez. Anyway, I've been Scott Walker. I want to thank you for your time, your attention. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the music. I'll see you at the con, or I'll see you next week.